So I had 4 things I wanted to talk about, and of course I can't remember 2 of them at all. But the 2 I do remember are the thing about the shortening of the books. It's not only frightening like Fahrenheit 451, but it lends me to something that I've been thinking about lately, because you and Raphael keep watching those stupid TikTok videos all the time. And those are like really, really, really short bursts of something to put your mind, get into your mind. And I was just having a whole thing about this because I'm not going to the gym anymore, because when I was at the gym, I would watch different shows like on my phone. So I'm out jogging outside again. So when you do that, I listen to music. So it's so weird. If you listen to a song from like the 80s, any Madonna song, or those songs were like 6, 7, 8 minutes long. If you got like ones with like hair bands that had like long parts with just the guitar, those could be like 10-minute long songs, 9-10 minutes. Over the years, of course, they have gotten shorter, because that song by Madonna that she did with Justin Timberlake is called 4 Minutes, and in it they're talking about how they only got 4 minutes to save the world. So by then, and that was what, 15 years ago, now you got 4-minute songs. Well, if you listen to like a brand new Britney Spears or a Katy Perry or whoever song, those songs are not even 3 minutes long. So, and I only noticed because it's like, if you're jogging around the block and I listen to like 1.5 Madonna songs, it seems like it goes a little quicker than if you're listening to all new music, because every 2 minutes you're getting a different song on. So it feels like, Jesus, I'm switching songs again. So because of that, and then with the TikTok thing, and now of course they're shortening the books, it comes back to that same thing, like the chicken or the egg. Like, are they feeding us stuff now that our minds are so incapable of paying attention to something for more than 2 minutes that they're shortening books, they're shortening songs, they're shortening little comedy things? Or are they putting that stuff out there to make our minds like that? To make us only used to listening to little snippets of things, so our minds can't be too bright, because after 2 minutes we don't know how to pay attention anymore. That was one thing. The other thing is the bullshit about the fucking tests. So they get the tests. The tests come from the federal government. The tests are stuck at, everybody gets the tests. They deliver the tests to the hospitals. That was on Saturday afternoon. But there were no reagents. Wasn't that a thing from before? So where are the reagents? Well, the reagents are stuck at like the FedEx facility. So one of the managers, this is again, and it's me, I'm coming around to the idea that you're right. I've got this fucked up notion that there's always a secret magical plan in the sky with some magical person in either government or high up in a company that's gonna press the magic button and be like, okay, this is what we do now. It's never that. I don't know why I think it is. So the same thing, where's the reagents? We don't know where the reagents are. Oh, somebody calls, they're stuck at FedEx. So one of the managers, a lab manager on the weekend, has to get in their car, go to FedEx, fight with the guy, finally get the box of reagents. So, okay, now they finally got that settled. That's been a whole day that they're back and forth with this. No organization to it at all. So they get the thing, well, he goes in on Sunday for an hour, because he's going to get his test up and running, because his CEO wants his hospital up and running. Well, it's not working, because the people that had already been tested by Quest that are coming out positive are coming out negative on his test. So one of them's wrong, and I'm assuming it's the brand new test that they got. So it was just this long thing. And what it turned out to be is that all hospitals, they use like universal equipment. So like if you're gonna do what they do to swab somebody's nose, they use what's called a yellow swab, which it must be a yellow swab. And what they do is they swab the nose, they take it and they put it into like a gel to keep it until they get it over to put it into the machine. What it turned out was happening is that specific test wasn't made to work with universal yellow swabs. Abbott Labs, who created the tests, and I can't even imagine how much money they're getting paid to have all these emergency test kits sent around the country, and they developed the cartridges that you need to develop the test. They developed their own swab. So you have to use the red Abbott swab that nobody has. You can order them, but you order them from Abbott. So once again, they couldn't have made the test with the regular swabs that every hospital in the country uses for every other fucking test. They had to make a special swab. So, I mean, it lends me to the idea it's either that this special swab somehow magically picks something up or that the yellow swab didn't. No. What it is it's like when you get a new iPhone and all of a sudden none of your attachments work because there's a different hole that didn't used to be square. Right? So now, yeah, you can use your phone, but you need to get all new headphones. Sorry that we needed to switch that. Is it because the hole in the iPhone is better in some way? Or is it just so you have to buy brand new headphones? Because I'm feeling like it's just to buy the new headphones, just like it's just so that people had to buy those red swabs. Right? That's what that's all about. So Abbott can make money not only on the tests and not only on the cartridges, but you got to buy the swabs from them too. So I don't understand it. Why isn't somebody, I feel like even at like my level of my doctor's office, somebody would have looked into that, you know what I mean, beforehand, been like, all right, how does this work? And what time are the cartridges going to get here? And who's picking up the cartridges for everybody? And is it swabs that we have here work? But no, it's just a clusterfuck of error. That's how our whole world runs, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, it's Tuesday morning and I'm on my way into work because Dr. Rush has to talk to me because he talked to the accountant yesterday. It's going to go one of two ways because he comes out yesterday. Well, I don't even know how it was coming up, but he was talking about doing the stupid loan thing where you take a loan and it's 2.5%. So you take your payroll for an 8-week period from last year, including what the doctors get paid, but they can only go up to $100,000 each for their salary. So you take $200,000 for their salary plus my salary and I guess the 3 girls' part-time salaries, and you apply for a loan for 2.5% of that, and then you get it back, and then that covers your payroll, and then you have still 1.5 that amount left to like help you pay your rent, your electric and stuff, and then you're still left with money that you're supposed to be putting back into the economy. Again, I don't know where all this fucking money's coming from. But he's saying to me, because I said, he says, how's that? That's how it's right. He's like, how are they handling being cut? And I said, well, Barb doesn't care. Barb wants to be home. She doesn't want to bring this shit home to her husband. And Barb, I'm finding, is financially perfectly fine. But Nydia is not great because she was cut at her other job too. And she kind of lives with the guy that I don't think makes a lot of money. And she pays all the bills. They have a house and a mortgage and, so, he's like, I know, it's too bad that I can't just have her here to answer the phone. He's like, but we really can't afford it. And as I'm sitting there thinking about it, I'm like, if you're getting the loan, then you're getting paid back what you're supposed to be paying her in salary. And then the more I said, Dr. Rush, are you sure you're not supposed to keep paying her? Because Dr. Michigan upstairs is telling me the reason all those girls are still working up there all the time with no patients is because he wants to qualify for that loan, which shall turn into a grant, free money. And he's saying you can't do that if you've cut anybody's hours. So he's like, oh God. So he looks on the thing and he's like, now he's reading, he's like, oh God. He goes, well, the equivalent of FTE, which is full-time employee. So I'm like, well, can you add together the part-time employees and have them count as FTEs? And he's like, I have no idea. So I said, well, you need to call your accountant because you start to apply for it today. I said, because it's either going to be that you need to have Barb and Nydia work as much as they did before, because we also had Carolina last time for payroll. So it's either going to be that you need them to work so that you can get the loan to turn into a grant by showing you didn't cut anybody's hours, or you're only going to be able to include my salary because I'm the only full-time person. So it's going to be one of the two. What is this asshole doing? So then last night, he's like, is there any way that you can pop in the morning? And I actually needed to go in anyway because the phones were busy yesterday for me. I don't know what's going on, but we have 17 patients tomorrow morning scheduled. 17. And she confirmed yesterday. I mean, she mostly left messages, but I answered the phone yesterday afternoon and nobody called and said they wanted to cancel. And, well, I don't know where I was going with that. I have 17 patients tomorrow. I don't know why I was saying that. So anyway, Oh, anyway, I was answering the phone yesterday, and I had a couple things come up that I couldn't do from home. So I actually kind of, because we're so busy tomorrow and I still want to leave a half day, I kind of need to pop in this morning and just do a couple of quick things. And nobody should be there. The only person that would be there would be Dr. Ruddy, but he won't bother me because there's no patients. And now Rush will be there, because then last night Rush texted me, is there any way you can pop in the morning? And I'm like, well, I'm actually going to go in for a few minutes anyway. And he's like, oh, good, because I met with my accountant and we really do need, I sent you the thing, we need to talk. And I was like, oh, do you need to give me a really big raise so that you can get more of a bailout? So I don't know. He's either going to tell me that I need to find something for Nydia to do so that she can keep the hours she had last year so he can qualify for the loan, or he's going to tell me I need to let her go altogether because the loan's not going to cover her salary. It's only going to cover mine. And they have to keep Barb because she has to be able to take x-rays. If I had to let Nydia cut Nydia, if I were Nydia, I would leave. I would totally quit. The only other thing he could possibly say is that his accountant thinks it would be best if I went out on unemployment and they didn't take the loan at all. And the truth of the matter is, unemployment for me, if I'm not driving into work or using gas or whatever, Raphael and I could easily switch going from because the truth is, if you're getting $50,000 a year worth of salary for 6 months to stay home, if I didn't pay my 401k, which I wouldn't do, because I put like 25% of my salary in my 401k, and I put $500 a month into that savings account. So if I took away my savings and my 401k, I would probably make the same amount of money as taking home $50,000 a year. So I could spend 6 months literally not working. And I can tell you, if they cut me at this point in my life, I would take the unemployment and then I would find a different job afterwards. Because even if I had to work at Publix, or at Target or whatever. So we'll see. I don't know what he's going to say. And I guess the only other thing I was going to say, I'm already at 11 minutes. The virus isn't spreading like it was supposed to, I thought it was going to, because it should have doubled by yesterday to because what was it? It was 204, so it should be 400. It should be 408 by yesterday, and that's if it was doubling every 5 days. It's not even close to that, and today would be 6 days. So it's only doubling, I think. I mean, still not great, but it's doubling by, I think, like every 7 or 8 days. And I don't know, the death. I read another thing though last night that was like, again, there's nobody in charge of anything, but I read a thing that said that a lot of the state, everybody's reporting the death differently. So if you catch the virus and you didn't get a test that says positive before you died, they list your death as what you died from, like pneumonia so it makes the count inaccurate, and they're not going to waste tests on people and the virus would die with you. Once you're dead, it's already gone. So unless they took the test and they're waiting for the results, but even that's such a clusterfuck. They had here, they tested 500 people in the different hospitals, and they're waiting for tests for over a week now. Now that they got the new rapid test, they're going to retest all of those people so that they'll get the test results quickly. But it means they wasted 500 of the original tests that we've been waiting for all this time. It's like the disorganization is baffling to me. Baffling. But anyway, that's my rant for now. Hopefully you'll watch this before tonight, and then tonight we should talk, because I can be able to tell you what Dr. Rush told me.